Welcome to Widowed Too Soon. This is one of your hosts, Michelle Bader. Unfortunately, it's only me again today. Mark is in the middle of all of his projects and moving, but I have something really exciting to share with you. So the timing actually works out perfect. So, a little bit about what I've been doing since the last podcast. I have been working a lot on my nonprofit called Widow Goals. And last week, you heard us talking about it. We were going to do our first event, and it went amazingly well. I think we had around 20-ish people, maybe 25 if you include all the speakers. And there were widows and other people who'd been through different kinds of grief. And we were able to talk with people as they came in. We had 6 speakers who shared their stories, and it went really, really well. I felt like people left encouraged. And as I was speaking, I just knew I was in my element. You know, when you find that thing that you're like, that's what I was born to do. That's how I feel when I speak. And so I'm taking steps forward to try to build my speaking career. I became a certified John Maxwell speaker and learned more about how to more efficiently speak. And I'm excited to start speaking for churches and groups. In fact, if you would like me to speak, please email me at michelle@widowgoals.org. That's separate from our podcast email. So again, it's michelle@widowgoals.org if you're interested in me speaking for your group. So what I want to talk to you about today is a little bit different. And it's about the nonprofit that I'm starting, because I think you guys are going to be very interested in what the services are or how you can be involved. So I'm going to give you a little background on how this started and just share a little bit about it. Next week, Mark should be back, and we should be back to our normal funny banter, all the 90s references, all that stuff. But for now, you got just me. But you know what? You can listen if you want to. Don't listen if you don't want to. Anyways, I hope you guys are doing good. And you know what? Just so you know, we do get every email, every Facebook post, every Instagram message. Now, we don't always get back to all of them, but just know that we do receive them, and we do thank you for that. I know we have a few of you waiting on us to get back to you for guests. We will get back to you soon. There's just a lot going on between Mark's move and my new nonprofit. So what I wanted to share with you is all about this nonprofit, how it got started, how you can be involved, and just share a little bit about it. So, I've been doing a podcast with Mark for about 10 months. We started last May 4th to be exact, of 2021. So we've been doing it about 10 months, and it's been awesome. We have met so many of you guys and really connected, so many great guests. We're in like 52 countries. It's been booming. It's been exciting. We love it. So that was kind of one of my first ways to give back to widows, because what happened was, after my husband passed away, I went through several really hard months. And then I felt like God really worked on healing my heart. He really turned my mourning into dancing, like literally, because I love dancing. And he turned beauty from ashes. And so, and Mark and I had met on a Facebook group, Young and Widowed with Children. And we saw the big need. So we became friends and saw this need, that there were so many widows and widowers that were just really desperate for help, desperate for light, desperate for direction on where to go with their lives. So both Mark and I felt like we had a lot to share. And so we started the podcast May 4th, 2021. And it has been just a great way to share. So we started the podcast. I started writing a book, which I'm still currently writing, called Widow Goals. And I started social media, specifically TikTok, really pouring into widows. I also started Instagram for widows, and just really started pouring into the widow community. And I get lots and lots of questions, especially on Instagram. That seems to be the one where I get the most. I also get the "can I be your sugar baby" comments, but I'll just delete those. Just ignore them. So, we've been doing a lot of stuff. And one day I was talking to my boyfriend, Joel, and I was like, hey, I wish that I had enough time in the day. Like, I wish that I could just sit here all day and answer everybody's comments and get paid for it. And he was like, maybe you could. And I'm like, what in the world are you talking about? And thus the idea of a nonprofit was formed, that maybe I could get funded to do the things that I'm already doing in addition to more services. So that was the kind of the beginning of how Widow Goals, the nonprofit, got started, is just thinking about maybe there's a way to fund, because Mark and I have been doing this for 10 months. We've never got paid one penny. We do it because we love you guys. We want to get a message out, but we would like to be able to take care of our families too by doing something that we love. So this idea of Widow Goals started, and then it began to grow. Okay, so then I started thinking about what I would really like to do. When you're a new widow and you get visits like at the very beginning, you've got everybody around you. And as time goes by, there's less and less people visiting you. And when I was a new widow, all I wanted to know is that someday it will get better. I knew 6 widows. Some people don't know any widows when their spouse passes away. I called all 6 of them and said, is it going to get better? And they all told me it would. That's all I wanted to hear. I didn't care about hearing about that from like friends and family who'd never been through this. I wanted to hear from a widow that it would get better. So I thought of this idea, really, God gave me this idea. What if we started a service where we could visit widows right after their spouse dies, as well as 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and a year? And then maybe visits after that. I haven't quite figured all of that out. But to be that contact person and to come to them right away and say, hey, I'm here to listen. I know what you're going through. I have been there too. And just listen, and to give that person my contact information so they could call or text me when they need support. And along with visiting them, I want to bring them gifts. Like, I don't know exactly what that's going to be, gift cards, not sure. Just something to cheer them up. Maybe it's flowers sometimes, maybe it's their favorite candy. I'm not quite sure. This is all in the development process. And so that's kind of where I started. And then it started getting bigger in my mind. What if I could pay seasoned widows to visit the new widows? So right now it's just going to start out as me. But as it grows with this vision, I'm imagining being able to pay widows to go out, because it's going to be so big. I'm starting in the Clark County, Washington area. So that's Vancouver, Ridgefield, Washougal, Camas, areas like that. We're right across the river from Portland, Oregon, but I'm starting right here. It's going to grow quickly. I'm not going to be able to keep up. And so I already have a couple girls on my board that I'm hoping that who are also widows, that I can pay them to start helping me. And then I want it to grow from there and grow and grow and grow. And then Mark last week, I think on air, came up with this brilliant idea of him being like handyman where he lives in Tennessee. Like a new widow there needs help, he comes and mows their lawn, or he comes and fixes whatever needs fixed. And so I see that too as a part of my vision. So it's going to be like widows giving back to widows, providing income for widows. And like I see it expanding all over the country and potentially like all over the world, because there is such a need for this kind of ministry to go and visit the widows. And I'm so passionate about this that I'm so excited. So we just officially launched March 11th. The paperwork went through, just got my website done. It's www.widowgoals.org. I will definitely link that in the description. And it says everything that I'm sharing today, it's going to be broken down to what are our services, what are we doing? So we're going to be servicing the local widows. So right now we're starting here. But if you are interested in starting your own local chapter, I want you to email me. I don't know when, I don't know how, but if you are someone who says, hey, I want to head this up in my area, go ahead and email me, michelle@widowgoals.org. And I'll have you at least, at a place where I know, okay, there's a person in this city ready to go. And so I really am excited about this. So if you want to be involved, definitely email me, because I want to grow this big. In addition, having some kind of events like several times a year where the donors can come, the widows can come, the seasoned widows, the new widows, like everybody can come, like a Christmas party. I don't even know. Like, I'm so excited. And I'm excited to start fundraising. I have not done any. We have had 2 donations, which I'm really excited about. Thank you. You know who you are. And I have not even started contacting people yet. That's what I'm about to do. In a few weeks, I should be launching a Facebook fundraiser, which if you are a charity, a nonprofit, they do not take any fees. So I'm really excited about that one. They have to review all my paperwork, make sure I'm legit, and then I will be posting that. Don't worry, I will be putting the link down in the description. And then if you want to be involved with keeping up with what's going on, I have a link on my website to sign up for a newsletter so you can see what's going on. Of course, we need people praying for us. This is like a huge deal and could really use your support in praying for this ministry, that it will reach the right people. And really, the point of this is to offer support, inspiration, point to God. I mean, that's really, we're going to offer prayer to them when we're with them. And of course, if they don't want it, we won't pray with them right there. Of course, I'll probably go home and pray for them, but I'm not going to make them feel uncomfortable if they don't want me like praying for them. But I'm so excited about this. So right now I have someone's contacted me about several of the widows. She knows several widows interested. So I'm about to get started. We have no funding, but I'm just going to forge ahead and trust God that he's going to bring the funding. And I'm just going to take these steps to continue with the podcast, continue my social media, and start visiting my local widows and just see what happens. But I see this as something so big that we could expand everywhere, especially through this podcast. I know there's people listening in all different countries, all different areas. And I see this as something that could be rather large, So right now we're just getting started, but we can use your support in prayer. You want to be on the newsletter. If you want to donate anything, we are working towards really getting this going. I have such a vision for this because we know what it's like, right? You and I, we know what it's like to wake up and to realize that your spouse is gone and suddenly you're in charge of everything. Suddenly you've got to be the one who fixes things. And I mean, I remember I didn't even know how to set a mouse trap, and the boys were like, we need a mouse trap. And I'm like, I don't know how, but I had to figure it out. Changing oil, changing light bulbs. I mean, so many things. I mean, there's probably a bunch of you that already know this stuff. I mean, light bulbs isn't hard, but I just, Luke was such a Mr. Fix-It that he did everything. Like he did the yard work, anything that was like, fixing or something like that. It was always him. And so he was the one who did that. And so I'm thankful because I have my family, my dad and my brothers helped me with so much. So I have that, but I know a lot of people don't, and that's really, really hard. And so I wanted to start this for people that might not have anybody. They might not have somebody there to be that person for them. And, I want to share something with you. I actually read this at my event the other night, and I think you guys can relate to this. This is where I was in the beginning of the morning after Luke passed away. I want to see if you can relate to this. I remember waking up the morning after my husband passed away in utter agony as suddenly the memories of my husband's last breath and the sounds of my kids saying, "No, Daddy, it's not time," came flooding into my mind. I began to wail as the pain was too intense for me to keep inside. It couldn't be true. My husband of almost 17 years couldn't be gone. The father of my children could not have been taken away from them so soon. Even though I'd witnessed his death with my eyes, my mind could not comprehend it. The weight of it all was too much to bear. I rolled over and looked at my daughter. The tears flowed more intently as the cold reality set in that my daughter at age 14 was fatherless. All I wanted to do was go back to sleep so I could escape the nightmare of my reality. With the sounds of my cries, my sister-in-laws came running into my room. "I'm so sorry, Shell," Jessica said as she rubbed my back as I lay face down with my head in the pillow. I could feel the bed shake as my daughter cried it by my side. My sweet baby, crying the tears of a broken heart. The tears for her daddy, the tears too deep to be explained. The years of father-daughter dances and dates would now be a bittersweet memory of the past. The one more goodnight kiss and one more "I love you, Daddy," never to be heard again. My heart ached with a deeper pain than I'd ever felt before. In my 41 years of life on earth, I thought I knew my fair share of pain, but absolutely nothing compared to the intensity of the pain that I felt in that moment. The hole so deep and dark, I felt it might swallow me into its depths where I would live forever. Who can relate to that? I know when I shared that last week, it seemed like a lot of people could relate to that feeling of just utter agony. And so my goal is to help those people, the people that are in that place and beyond, but really starting in that place where you're just like, what just happened? I remember my hospice nurse talking to me before Luke passed away saying, it doesn't matter how much I prepare you for this, you're not going to be prepared. And boy, was she right. Even though I knew it was coming, it was just like nothing I'd ever felt. I know you guys get it. And so my heart goes out to those widows who do not have what I had. They don't have a community of widows. They don't have family to help them. And so I want to step in and be that. I want to step in and lock my arms around them and say, we got you, right? We got you. I want to provide a community in addition to the Widow Goals page. I created another one so it would be private because I realized everything we put on our Widow Goals Facebook, everyone can see. And not Widow Goals, Widowed Too Soon, the one a lot of you are part of, everyone can see. And so I wanted to create something that would be private. So I started one called Grief Goals. I'll put a link into it. And I decided to call it Grief Goals because I want it to be for anyone in grief, not just widows. So that's a support page you can go find. I'll put a link in the description. But anyways, this is going to be short and sweet. I just wanted to get on here and share with you my new vision for the future. Of course, Mark and I are going to continue doing our podcasts. Every week we're like, what are we going to talk about now? But somehow we always come up with stuff. And a lot of you have given us good ideas. We still have guests that are going to be sharing. We've got some exciting guests coming up. Just arranging the time has been a little bit difficult. And now Mark and I are not on the same time zone. He is 3 hours ahead of me. So it does make it a little more difficult, but we're going to figure it out. We're going to keep offering this podcast, keep offering support, keep giving because God has mended our broken hearts. Yeah. Do we have grief moments? I had a weird one last night. Yes. Randomly, I was talking to Joel, my boyfriend, and I started he was like, what are you thinking about? I'm like, Luke's death. I don't know why. It just came over me. And I shared it when I'm crying and I'm sharing it with him again. It just happens sometimes. It's almost been 2 years, but it happens. So yes, we have grief moments, but I would say overall, my heart is healed. My heart is healed with flashbacks of grief. And so I want to take what I've learned in the almost 2 years and I want to help other people. My goal is to take the healing that's been given to me and share with others how they can get that same healing because I know what it's like to be in that lost, dark place. And I don't want that for anybody. So I think that's really what I wanted to share today, short and sweet. If you want to be involved, go to www.widowgoals.org and check out the website. There's lots of different links for signing up for newsletters and all kinds of things and the community groups. And you can fill out a form to nominate a widow, or you can fill out a form for yourself. And we will get back to you about the services we can offer. Now, if you're in my area, we'll be able to service you in person. If not, we're starting coaching. So make sure you fill out the form for that. And I'm just really excited to get this going and to be able to take what I went through and help others. I never wanted this life, right? None of us did. But if we have to go through it, at least we can help others. And I'm excited. We can take this all over the world, guys. We can take it all over and help new widows. So thanks for listening. If you like this podcast, first, we'd love it if you subscribe so you never miss an episode, and then it will come straight to your phone. Give it a little Bing 5 stars on Apple Podcasts or anywhere you listen. If you have an email or want to be a guest for Mark and I, email us at widowedtoosoon@gmail.com. And if you want to be involved with Widow Goals, everything I shared today, you can fill out some of the forms on my website or email me with questions or ideas. I'm open for ideas too. This is brand new. Michelle@widowgoals.org. That's all of this is going to be in the show notes as well. And I look forward to talking to you guys next week and sharing some laughter, I'm sure, with Mark. We always laugh. And so thanks for listening to this special edition of Widowed Too Soon. And I hope that you have a really fabulous day or night whenever you're listening. And thanks for letting us come into your home or on your walk or your run or cleaning or however you listen to podcasts. I know I listen to them when I'm making dinner sometimes. I listen to them when I'm running. I listen to them in my car. So wherever you're at, I hope you have a fabulous, fabulous day. And remember, you were made to live life and live life abundantly. Talk to you later. Have a great day.